Okay, welcome back, everybody. I have the pleasure in having with us Bashir Boumediene, our media expert, and he'll be talking with our sponsor, Francois from Molotov Solutions, on how Molotov is helping telcos to leapfrog into OTT. So Bashir, all over to you for this amazing discussion.
Thank you, Shanna. Really excited about this debate. Hello, everyone, and welcome into this talk where we're going to be talking about how to help telcos leapfrog into OTT. I think it's a much needed debate considering how much appetite there is for this specific topic in the region. So I'm Bashir Boumediene. I'll be your host today. I'm a media expert. I've been in the media industry for over a couple of years, mainly in the MENA region. So very familiar with the challenges that we're faced with as broadcasters, streamers, and telcos in the region. Now, I'm really delighted to have an interesting panel that's gonna give us a bit of what is happening in Europe and the disruption that they're bringing to MENA, which is extremely interesting. But let me just set up the foundation of this talk first. So if you look why telcos are trying to leapfrog into OTTs, the story is very simple, and we're seeing a lot of acceleration of that in this region specifically. Telcos are becoming a commodity. Your data bandwidth, your network is not a differentiator anymore. It's a super competitive market. It's extremely difficult for a telco to stand out. And they still are solving for the same problems every day, which is basically, how can I grow? How can I acquire customers? How can I differentiate myself from competitors? And how can I add benefits in my product proposition so that I'm the most attractive possible out there? So with that in mind, we've seen an excitement of telcos that are moving into this space, and hence the discussion that we're having today. So let me please introduce you our debaters today. We have Francois from Molotov Solutions. Hi, Francois, if you could please introduce yourself.
Sure. I'm Francois Lepichon. I'm leading the B2B branch of Molotov, the leading live TV streaming platform in France. And I'm happy to share with you my vision of the OTT ecosystem in MENA and worldwide.
Amazing. Thank you for being with us, Francois. We have as well Vincent from Digital Virgo. Can you please introduce yourself, Vincent?
Hello, everyone. So I'm Vincent, the CMO of Digital Virgo. So Digital Virgo is an expert in online payments and also monetization of, let's say, content services. Also very happy to share with you our experience in the region and beyond the region, what we do worldwide.
Perfect. Thank you. And welcome on board as well, Sebastian from AWS. Could you please introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. Thanks, Bashir. I'm Sebastian Darn. I'm leading edge services for AWS in France. We are a partner of Molotov Solutions and Digital Virgo, helping them to develop their services to their own customers.
So perfect. Thank you guys for introducing yourselves. So we're talking about how to help telcos to leapfrog into the OTT space. I mean, there's, as I was saying in my introduction, the story is very straightforward. It's all about customer acquisition, differentiating your brand, adding value to the customer, and improving your churn, your ARPUs, etc. So this is the daily challenge that telcos are faced with. So how can Molotov, could you please, Francois, tell us a bit more about what Molotov has to offer for telcos specifically? And maybe we'll take it from there. We'll deep dive from there.
Sure. We basically propose an end-to-end solution, a telco-ready OTT platform based on our expertise and technology, what we use and with what we built Molotov in France. Molotov in France, in few numbers, we aggregate almost 200 live TV channels, dozens of thousands of VOD content, and we reach millions of users on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. So it's a huge platform. We're more than happy to welcome these users every day. They love the experience we propose. We are really a breaking ground experience, proposing something new on the ecosystem. especially in France, and we are happy to propose this in white label to telcos and broadcasters, and as well in partnership where we can partner with companies such as Digital Virgo, for example, where we can develop Molotov abroad with local experts and partners. So what we propose is basically an end-to-end solution. So we maybe we will develop a little more afterwards, but our vision, it's everybody has to go OTT right now. Telcos are proposing more and more innovations around the bandwidth, 5G, fibers, and so on. So to watch TV today, it's over internet. It's the live TV streaming service. It's a must-have now. And we know it's complicated for companies, broadcasters, especially telcos, to do this move, to do this transformation from cable to OTT. So with our solution, we propose them to a kind of plug and play solution with a follow-up, with consulting, with expertise, and I think it's something it's something good we propose on the market, and we are happy to announce, and we already announced this summer. This is something we did with Maroc Telecom, with Digital Virgo and the technology of AWS. We launched the platform in July. And the result is pretty good.
That's amazing, because it brings me to my second question, just to understand the role of Vincent and Sébastien in this trio and what each one of you is bringing to the table. So what's the context of your partnership overall? Could you give me a bit of context here to understand how you guys came to work together and how this fit in within the world of Molotov?
Who wants to speak? I can give my let's say my point of view on this alliance. I would say, in fact, it's all started when we started to work alongside with Molotov as a French. Let's say our homeland is France too, so we know pretty well the product Molotov as a, let's say, a B2C OTT service that is really successful in France. So we started to discuss with the team in Molotov to see how we could work together to, launch a service under the brand of Molotov in Africa. In fact, because Digital Virgo has a strong footprint in this region, specifically French-speaking Africa, but also all the MENA region. So it all started there. So maybe 2 years ago, something like that, no? We started to partner. And then when we built this, well, we built together this with our very complementary roles, us as a, let's say, monetizer, bringing Molotov within the telco ecosystem with mobile payment solutions, but also distribution and also aggregation of content. Deals with TV channels and also VOD content, because were already present in the region. And once this was done with quite a good success in the distribution of this service, we started to see that some telcos, starting with Maroc Telecom, but I hope it's just the beginning of a long story.
And it is actually.
It is, yeah. Have really have some needs to really update and upgrade their offer with an easy solution, which is at the state of the art of what is done on OTT for TV content, let's say. So that was the perfect match to provide a solution to a telco. Also, just maybe it comes later and I have to stop and I will, but also, we often, we now have to work on ARPU optimization and these kind of things that telco are demanding. So that's also a way to do it. But maybe we'll speak about this a little later.
Yeah, and if I can add something on top of this, is our vision at Molotov is we can bring a global technology. The technology can be global. The platform, we propose kind of SaaS service but the marketing and the monetization has to be local. And this is why we partner with Digital Viago, because they have team into the countries we are operating. And if we can bring the technology, we can't bring the marketing or the content easily. So it was a good way to start abroad. Yeah.
Perfect. So, Francois, you're bringing the technology, a state-of-the-art technology, which what I love about it is this is something that you as a company are vested in because you're present in France and continue to improve that technology over time. And Vincent is helping with the monetization across the MENA region. Now, Sébastien, what's the added value that AWS brings to the table?
Actually, Vincent just talked about bringing a global technology, and the main point at AWS is bringing the ability to scale this technology on a very large footprint. And this is what we brought to the table. And at the beginning, Molotov started building an on-prem solution, and they need to grow. And this is part of their journey to AWS, moving from on-prem solution to scaling capabilities to global reach capabilities and using as much services as possible. We are now delivering something like 200 services, and Molotov and Digital Viago and whoever can use these services on-demand model, from starting from their own level of knowledge and being able to use them and customize them as much as possible to deliver added value solutions to their own customers. So we are there to bring these global capabilities, scalings, and infrastructure that helps Molotov, Digital Viago, and others delivering their own value to their users.
So we're talking here mainly about the probably the CDNs and how you're treating data in such a way so that you can improve latency and improve the customer experience at the end of the line. Is that what this is about, and how do you do it? Maybe specifically in this context.
Yeah, that's correct. Actually, there is a global infrastructure at AWS, and we are delivering services to go even broader. And this is what we call edge services. So in that situation, we are discussing about CloudFront, which is the CDN service of AWS. So Molotov is using CloudFront to reach the end users of their own customers as close as possible. It's about bringing caching capabilities in lots of regions, and even much regions than what we call AWS regions, so that content, video content, streaming content can be delivered as closer as possible of the end users. This is about saving latency. This is about bringing high performance and high level of experience for the users. So when you are preparing a content anywhere on the globe, you can deliver it very, very far from there, because you will be able to use the caching capabilities. And as a constant development, constant implementation, and regular new locations at AWS and at CloudFront, we are being able to serve content in almost every country of the world.
Well, I gotta say, I love this alliance because everyone is bringing so much to the partnership itself, and it's kind of a natural talent pool where each adds lots of value to the service itself. So just going back a bit to understand a bit more Molotov, and I must say that I've been using the app for prepping for this talk, and I've been amazed by the features that you guys have there. So it's not only live TV, but it's also SVOD, it's also add-ons. Could you just elaborate a bit about what makes you so special as a platform, and how are you building what I feel is actually a technology that is really plug and play for a telco, because it solves a lot of the questions. And I'll debate on that a bit more from my perspective of what we're seeing here in terms of telco needs.
Sure. Yeah, so our platform can welcome any business model, and I think this is the main part. You can do live TV, you can do SVOD, VOD, pay-per-view. In-app, and the monetization can be carrier billing. Obviously it's a strong thing for telcos, but for broadcasters, for example, it can be a credit card payment, recurring payments, weekly, monthly, yearly, and obviously the in-app purchases. So with Apple, Google, Huawei, Amazon. So it's something we wanted to have because it's something important. As you say, like the market is evolving a lot, really. I didn't talk about AVOD, but for example, we can welcome, and we do in France, we have our own AVOD channels called Mango, and this technology of ad insertion, we are using it for client as well. So, and because why I'm talking about AVOD, because platform we created last year had SVOD, and today we are creating platform with AVOD. Everything is evolving super fast, so we can't be a blocker for our client for their business model. We have to evolve as they evolve in their business. So the business model and our structure of payment and billing and monetizing is really strong. And as well, we can go global. So with geo-blocking, geo-restriction, we can editorialize by region. So this global thing is really important as well, because today, telcos are looking at the OTT for their own solution, their own service, but they can definitely go OTT thanks to our solution. So, for example, go from a market to another, from country to another, proposing different contracts and bundles and content offering from a country to another. This is what you can do with our platform. And obviously, it's multilingual. Yeah.
Sorry, that's an important point. You're saying obviously it's multilingual as well?
Yeah, it's multilingual in different languages. And we are doing an update as I'm speaking with the Maroc Telecom to have this Arabic right to left user interface, which is really important in MENA, obviously, and allowing us to do so with the Arabic or Hebrew in right to left.
So if I understand well, from a solution perspective, you're already catering a lot to what the telcos need in general. So the flexibility in terms of payment, the flexibility in terms of embedding content on onboarding content, the flexibility as well in terms of business models, which is AVOD and subscription-based video on demand, which is great as well, because we're seeing that double interest telcos do provide in this region a lot of the free-to areas as well. And from a content perspective, because this game is all about content at the end of the day, and you're only as good as the content that you have, and you're only as good from a technology perspective in terms of your customer experience, and from a revenue perspective from your ability to generate and monetize. So could you tell us a bit more, all of you guys, in terms of how you are solving for enabling telcos to onboard as many partners as possible as part of this technology?
Sure, and Vincent, you can complete what I would say. But as I mentioned, we have the ability to ingest content. We are ingesting a lot of content, so with different worldwide partners, as we have in France, but as we have also in MENA. And we can aggregate different top tier services, such as Bean, for example, or OSN in MENA. And so our customers can purchase and take membership in our platform with, how can I say, ingested content. So they will find the content into the experience, or they can, as many broadcasters or telcos are doing, for example, this Netflix partnership or this OSN partnership with this Bean partnership, and they will receive credential on one billing system. So, Vincent, if you want to complete.
Yeah, sure. In fact, the beauty, let's say, of the product that was built for these particular deals with telcos is that we can, and that's the positioning we take together, let's say, as in this alliance, is to be able to provide not only the product and the technology behind, not only the payment solutions, but also the content. And there are several ways to do it. We work directly with a lot of content partners, providers, TV channels, but also VOD studios partners to ingest within the solution itself. And more, what we discovered, I mean, it's a quite maybe recent phenomenon, is that there are also a lot of OTT services, existing OTT services, who want to remain, let's say, as a standalone OTT, but not as a provider of content that will be ingested within the solution itself. So what Molotov built is something that enables to work both ways. Either by ingesting the content within the product itself, but also by doing some kind of bundles or add-ons that as we call them, with other OTTs that can remain independent, but still be part of the content offering, global content offering, which is kind of key with our discussion when we speak with the telcos, because it's really something that they expect. They want to have in the region, for example, to be able to propose to their customer base access to OTTs like OSN or Being Sports or this kind of very famous OTTs. So to combine both ways and to provide a global access to a very wide range of content, that's key. So that's what
I like what you're saying, because this is really reflects a lot of the challenge that I'm seeing on the ground, in the sense that telcos want to have control and also have that flexibility or a platform that enables them to work with everyone. And since kind of everyone is a bit also looking at this and want to maintain that relationship with the end customer somehow, or maintain that view on the analytics, on the viewership, on understanding what is driving content consumption. So I like what you're describing, where you're able to offer a platform that also enables independent players to kind of plug into that ecosystem, but from a telco perspective, they're in control of their brand and in control of the user experience from A to Z. So quite a compelling view. Sébastien, how? I mean, MENA is probably an upcoming region globally, but could you tell us a bit AWS footprint in MENA specifically, and what are you guys doing on the ground to work with the likes of broadcasters and whatnot in terms of improving their and telcos as well in terms of improving their CDNs, their networks, etc.?
Yeah, and as I was saying previously, we are having a constant development and constant implementation in new locations. So as per now, there are already region in MENA. When I say region, it's on AWS level. It means that there are some locations in MENA where you can find almost all AWS services, and this is yet in Bahrain. We are planning to open a new one in the UAE. Because as per now, we have capabilities in Dubai, in other countries, but they are edge locations. It means that we can reach users using the CDN, but for instance, you would not be able yet to store in a very instant moment. And we are planning to open multiple locations in the next months. We have regular openings, and the list is not fixed. What is interesting also is that when it's about delivering content, and we are talking about delivering content, you are not building permanent routes. You are building dynamic routes, and you are looking for the best solution to reach the user. So you can reach a user in Tunisia, for instance, coming from border countries, and you may reach the Tunisia from Italy, because it's the best way to reach from Sicily or stuff like this. So we are actually developing in the MENA region, but also in lots of border locations that may help delivering a permanent efficiency. Development in Spain, development in Portugal, development in Sicily, development in Israel, in Dubai, in also South Africa and Southern Africa. So this is a permanent development, and based on this location, we are also permanently raising new services. And I just wanted to give you an amazing pace of innovation and services. In 2020, at AWS, we launched 2,700 new major features or new services only in 2020. So
wow.
in these new features, new services, this is bringing capabilities for our customers. And we were discussing about giving specific content with partnerships and so on. And I just wanted to give you a kind of very quick instance. Molotov, Digital Virgo, they can use serverless solutions at AWS. And that way you will be able to make calls upon your users at the edge or very, very far from the location. And for instance, a telco that would need to serve content from their in-country users, but also for foreign country users, like we do in France, we are serving in France, but also in the Pacific for French users. And you can make the call using serverless solutions in the Pacific rather than coming in France, make the call in France and go back to the Pacific. And this brings a lot of value to our users and customers.
That's great, because you're telling me already what I kind of wanted to understand, which is how you're optimizing the flow of data across regions, and specifically for MENA, because I know how markets are so different. GCC markets are way ahead of the curve when it comes of technology adoption and the deployment of 5G. If you look at countries like Iraq or even Egypt, we're still at the level of pushing 4G and really maximizing it. So it is an uneven scene in terms of infrastructure, and being able to have a solution that takes that into account and propose a solution that really tackles the challenge of experience is really important.
I just wanted to add very quickly also, when you were talking about partnership, and we are also a kind of partnership solutions, bringing the AWS marketplace, where Vincent and Francois and any customer can choose new partners directly connected to the features, or we can bring communities and so on. And we are having more than 100,000 partners in the world, and 70% of these ones are out of the US in various multiple countries. So this is also a way of having our customers working together, using partners that can be directly plugged into their own solutions, and it makes a lot of sense.
So that creates a seamless getaway in terms of partnership. It eases the connection. That's amazing.
And what we can say about that, it's when we work with the telco, it becomes a partner, if you would, but usually they want a partner of Amazon, you know. So the partnership we built with Amazon, the telcos we are working with can take advantage of it directly. Day one, on the prices, on the performances, the quality of service, all the services we are talking about. We are happy at Molotov is our vision as well, to bring like premium partners to the telco. And obviously we can say Amazon AWS is one of the best. So
absolutely.
If I may add just one tiny comment regarding going back to the content, it's just to illustrate also the, let's say, wide numbers of features that AWS puts on the table on this. Is that, for example, we were asked by Maroc Telecom in this case to build TV channels for under their own brand, and that's something that we achieved to do based on the feature which is available within the AWS environment. So it's not about hosting or delivering the content and so on. The infrastructure is really related to, let's say, extra features that are really powerful and useful for all of us in this product building, let's say. So that's just an example to illustrate that really it's a very complementary, again, the three companies together.
This is really interesting, because I haven't seen any telcos in the region going ahead with creating their own like TV station or brand. But you're saying that there is this capability that you bring in on top to a telco, which is quite interesting in terms of serving probably their needs in terms of branding and as well adding a bit of a differentiation to the mix. Let us deep dive a bit on the Maroc Telecom because I mean, out there, us being based here in Dubai and catering to this region, Morocco is so far away that we're still struggling in terms of having the proper way of cracking it, to be honest with you. And this is similar to all broadcasters and streamers across the region. So could you just give me, Francois, what was really the business drivers for the partnership with Maroc Telecom? What was the business case like?
The business case was simple. They had a solution with a manufacturer. It was a satellite solution, a pretty old one. Satellite is good, but if you don't really take care of the hardware, the infrastructure is getting bad over time. So they were in the edge of something new. They needed to change their solution. And actually, they wanted something like hybrid, like between satellite and OTT to keep the old infrastructure and to have kind of a go-between, you know, between these two solutions. What we propose to them with Digital Viago, it's this OTT solution. You know, we really spend time with them to make them understanding like the benefits of it, the ease of integration in their system, because actually there is no hardware, there is no technical integration except for the billing, but the rest is totally taken care by our solution and all teams. So, and as they are like going fiber in all the countries, 4G, 5G, it was getting obvious for them to go to this OTT. So the starting point of all of this was this technology move they wanted to do, and we had them to do it on OTT, and the rest of it, it's also the business. I think as I mentioned, the flexibility of a backend, allowing them like to do whatever they want. If you want to create your own channel, you can integrate it and so on. And of course, the proximity with Digital Viago and this billing solution.
The technology challenge really speaks to me because this is something that we see a lot in this region. I mean, I know of a number of telcos in Bahrain, in KSA, in Amman that had similar challenges in the sense that they were rolling out a solution that was limited in terms of infrastructure. They were not able to, it was too costly to maintain in general. It wasn't enabling them to grow at scale because the addressable market or the fiber rollout is not at the level it should be. So whereas the mobile bandwidth is amazing. So I see kind of this happening across market, and it's an interesting one. So Vincent, in this very specific context of Maroc Telecom, I think you have a very deep expertise working with this telco in Morocco specifically. Could you tell us more about what you're bringing here in terms of deployment and also in terms of monetization and your role as well in terms of a go-between for content?
Yes, sure. So as you said, we have the chance to be present on the ground in Morocco with a very big team working for years now with the telcos in the region and specifically, obviously, in Morocco. With Maroc Telecom, we already provide some services, white label services in different other verticals, I would say. So that was, as Francois said, the good moment for us and Maroc Telecom to move forward on this TV topic with this OTT approach, so product-wise, let's say. But business-wise, also what is key, I think, is also the right moment to, let's say, work with this type of approaches and type of product on how to improve ARPUs and to address, let's say, the top line instead of the bottom line in terms of customers. I mean by that in these markets, specifically in Morocco, we work a lot on a prepaid market with a lot of users, mobile users on prepaid. but it tends to evolve. And with this kind of product offering and content offering, we can reach more easily other types of customers, like the fixed internet, like fiber customers, also postpaid. And I think that for Maroc Telecom, this kind of product is very helpful to build bundles or to build these kind of things that will enable them to have better ARPUs, but also much higher
pushing the
quality
agenda
service.
So pushing the agenda of growing that postpaid base.
Yes, exactly. Postpaid, and also we work mostly in this region with on mobile. I mean, it's almost 100% of what we do. And now with this, we see that we can start speaking about a more global approach, TV, fixed internet. I mean, it's really opening new opportunities for us and the telcos altogether. So that's really what we believe will change and add some value. I mean, value in terms of business to those markets for the coming months and years. So that's really what let's say the first base that we've built in this deal for the coming months.
Interesting. So from a technology perspective, timeline-wise, how much time are we talking about from, say, to be Molotov ready and have your white-labeled OTT platform up and running? Sebastian, from your perspective, is it a plug and play? And I would assume that you're at that level.
From our perspective, there is no delay. Actually, the services are ready. So this is about having an application that is conform. But talking about AWS Spot, there is no delay. You can open a service on the fly wherever you need, depending on what you want to do. So this is more about having Molotov solution available and discussions open with Francois and the customers. But there is no adaptation on our side.
And as we propose a SaaS model, everything is already hosted, already live. When we work with a new customer, we create an instance in our infrastructure and in our system for him. So actually, it's quite plug and play, but obviously there is a setup phase because we need to set up the payments, which we said, the content offering, and different parts. We are really back office driven, so everything can be done by the back office. But there is also some technical integration specific to the telcos. So let's say in a few months, let's say two or 3 months, the product can be ready. And after there is another phase, what can be like, depending, it's the content integration, because if the telco is mature on this topic, already had the contract, and the content can be really going fast as well. So actually, in parallel of the products, the content integration can be done in these 2 or 3 months. Or if it's something we have to create with a partner, such as Digital Virgo, it's something can take times. But for a good example, this brand new Maroc Telecom platform was done in less than 6 months, and I'm talking about the whole picture, and which is pretty fast, I think.
It is amazingly fast, that's for sure.
And I'm sure we can do like faster, thanks to all new experiences and the partnership we're gathering and we're aggregating in all offer. Yeah.
This is also. Sorry, Bashar. Very quick. I was saying that everything is on the fly capable at AWS because we have a global agreement with Molotov and with Digital Virgo. It means that we don't have to discuss internally about new rates, about new region to open or whatever, because we already have the global agreement that is in place. So it's very good for them so that they can go directly and discuss with the customer wherever they need.
Thank you, gentlemen, for answering this question regarding time to market, because from a telco perspective, this is a very sensitive question as well. So, I mean, lovely to have this debate with you. It was really a pleasure to have you. I think that it's extremely interesting as a solution, Molotov, in terms of de-risking what the telco is trying to do when entering that space of OTT and streaming in general. Having a solution that is end-to-end and that is plug and play makes a whole lot of difference. And we've seen in this region region a lot of telcos that have tried to build their own solution across multiple service providers, etc. And that has been a challenge with the multi-million or hundreds of millions of dollars that are invested every year. So it's great to hear of other models that are kind of moving slowly from France to Morocco and entering and expanding into the region. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Bashir.
Thanks
Thank
a lot.
you.
Thank you, Vincent. Thank you, Sébastien, and thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.